There's a documentary on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix called Three Identical Strangers. And it's about triplets who were separated at birth. There's a plot twist. So I won't really give you the twist. But one thing that was interesting is that they found each other many years later. Well, one of them went to this college, and everybody was just like calling him this different name. Girls were walking up to him and kissing him, and people were just so friendly towards him, as if like like. But he's like, I've never been here before. So eventually, I guess he had a conversation with somebody, and like, I'm not who this person is, and he said, well, you probably have a twin. So he went to find that person and found out he had a twin. And then they became kind of well known in newspapers and on like they went on like TV shows and whatever talk about twins separated at birth. And there was a third one who was like, yeah, I look just like you guys. Maybe I am also one of them. So it turned out that there was three of them that were separated at birth. Right. But there's a plot twist if you want to look at it. It's called Three Identical Strangers. I watched it a long time ago. It was good. It was entertaining. You could check it out if you want. But what I noticed, and I have it right here. They were separated at birth. They did not meet each other until two of them did not meet each other until they were in college. There was no contact before that. But they like the same movies. They like the same type of women. They like the same cars and sports. They smoked the same brand of cigarettes. You see how specific that is? Even the same brand of cigarettes. They had similar ways of talking. They had similar ideas of how to have fun. They played the same sport in high school, all three of them. All three of them showed signs of separation anxiety as children, which probably because, they were separated at birth, but they were familiar with each other in the womb, I don't know. They all experienced depression at times, and they visit psychiatric hospitals as teenagers, as if they were patients in psychiatric hospitals as patients. All three of them. All three of them. They had no influence from each other in any way. They were separated and put in different tax brackets, different households, different types of parents, you know what I mean? But they all ended up very similar. So now the question to me is, how is that possible if we have free will? How did they all decide to like this specific cigarette? You get what I'm saying? So it's almost like there's a connection between your DNA and the choices that you make. It's like a mother would tell a son, you're just like your father. Sometimes, well, most times I hear it is usually in a negative way, but there's some connection between your DNA and the decisions that you make, the choices that you make, the things that you enjoy. So that in itself is telling me that you are not necessarily liking things because you like things. You are liking things because you were almost programmed over however many generations to like that thing. So it's like, I like burgers. Did you choose to like burgers? Or is it just a natural part of your biology to like a burger when you try it? You know what I mean? That makes sense, right? It makes sense to me in my head. So that's the first thing when it comes to free will. The second thing, marketing. I don't really pay too much attention to it. I'm not really like a salesperson or anything. I think I probably should try to get better at sales because selling myself could be very profitable. But I remember there was this Pepsi, they changed the Pepsi logo, and I don't know if it was leaked or it was released or what, but there were like pages just explaining the Pepsi logo and why they choose that color. They choose this shade of blue because that shade of blue creates this feeling, and then the soup, and then everything was just diagrammed out to try to make the logo as appealing as possible to so many different people. So if you look at the logo and you think, wow, I like that logo, and you think it's just somebody who just swirled something in in Photoshop and then created this logo, or Canvas, and just created this logo in his bedroom, and that was about it. I mean, maybe that's what it is sometimes, but for these really big companies, it's more than that. McDonald's, the M, the colors, everything, you know, they wanted to stand out. They wanted to notice it, to pay attention, to look at it. Before I even went to America for the first time, I was watching these commercials and I wanted a Big Mac. I wanted a Big Mac so much. I wanted a Big Mac so much. I just kept seeing these McDonald's commercials and McDonald's commercials. The commercials were made to make you want the burger. I tried it. I love a Big Mac. Whopper is better. Burger King Whopper. Love a Whopper. Oh my goodness, just thinking about it. I haven't had a Whopper in so long. Oh my God. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's besides the point. It's like you're being trained to be that. And I personally believe you don't have to. It's fine if you don't. I'm not going to argue with you. I personally believe that something like religion is manipulative. And I believe that a lot of other things are manipulative. And so in essence, you are tricked almost into believing certain things. They may trick you with, pretending to care. And this is not just about Christianity. Like, I know that there are a lot of Christians who genuinely care about people, and they want to help people, and they don't want people to die and go to hell. I understand that these people exist, but I think that the overlying structure of the religion is to manipulate you into entering it and to staying. People manipulate using fear, and I believe that is what happens with American politics a lot. It's like, oh my goodness, if Trump becomes president, that is it for America. America is going to be doomed. He became president for 4 years, and then Joe Biden became president. And then when Joe Biden became president, the Republicans like, oh no, our country is doomed. We're going to fall. This is horrible. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just fair. Both sides, in my opinion, want the same thing, but because of the fear of the other side just taking away their freedom, or taking away what they love, or destroying their precious country, or I don't know. There's such a fear that they feel the need to go out and vote, and then they feel the need to cut communication with family because of who they vote for, and it becomes messy. It becomes a lot messier than it needs to be, but it's all because they want your vote. They want you to vote for them, and so they're going to put on whatever news media they are on. They're going to put whatever they could put on there to make sure that, one, you're still watching, because you remember places like Fox News and CNN, MSNBC, they are businesses, so they want you to keep watching. So they trigger, they either make you scared or make you angry or make you sad, to make you keep watching, to feed that emotion, and the angrier you get, the more you want to watch, to get more angry at all the things that these people that don't believe the same things that I believe are doing, when both sides pretty much want the same thing, but they are manipulated into following this political party. They're like, because, okay, like I lived in white America and black America. And in black America, guns were like I'm hearing gunshots blaring at night. I'm not saying everywhere that black people live, that is what it is, but I was like in a city, like somewhere in Philly, I can't remember where. But there were sirens and gunshots and all kind of thing. I was walking through a park. I walked through a park at night, and then I passed the next morning, and there was just a vehicle there just riddled with bullets. So to them, guns are dangerous things that criminals use to rob and kill and all of that, right? So that is what guns are to them. That is what they experience with guns are. The part of white America that I was at was, let me go shoot up this can. Like this. a friend of mine gave me a shotgun rifle. I had to jam it against my shoulder to shoot at this little tin thing that he had set up. You know what I mean? Like powerful weapons, like weapons. And it's fun. And if it's not that, it's we going hunting. You know, so to them, guns are a form of leisure and fun, right? Fun, entertainment, whatnot, right? Whatnot. So the Democrats will appeal to the people in the cities like, oh, we're going to try to ban guns, we're going to crack down on guns. These people who don't care about it don't want to crack down on guns. And the people who just use the guns for hunting and for entertainment, they're being told that, oh, these people are just trying to take your freedom away from you. Like, hey, your freedom is gone. And so both sides end up clashing with each other, and a lot of them end up hating each other. I'm sure there's some of them get along fine, like, you know, they just understand they have different political views, but there's a lot of people who are just manipulated into this. And then they go on social media and it's fed to them. This is happening. These horrible groups of people are doing this. And then the opposing side is like, that horrible group of people are doing this. And it's all this clashing and thing. All because MSN, CNN, and them want you to watch their show, and the Democrats and the Republicans want your vote so that they could do what they believe is best for the country. It's all a manipulation. So the people go to vote not because they've actually sat down and thought, is this what I want? But they were manipulated into these emotions to go out and vote. And I believe that happens with everything. You see, like when you grow up, like you grow up in country and thing, and you know, people would make fun of you, not just in country, St. Vincent period. People would make fun of you for doing something that is outside of the norm. And because, you know, we are naturally inclined to one community, we tend to want to do what it is that is right, that do what it is that society dictates, or what people shame us into doing, so that we could fit in with the community. And we don't even realize that that is what we're doing. We just do it. The clothes you wear it because you see somebody else wearing it. You know, like a lot of decisions we make subconsciously because of just things that we see and understand. It's things that have just been fed to us from the day I was born. Probably, I can't know for sure, but I know early in my childhood, Jesus, God. I could not think of a world in which God did not exist. It was all I knew from birth. I never decided that to believe in God. My parents that I grew up with believed in God. They told me God exists. I just trusted it 100%, and that was it. You know, and I use a scripture with a friend because I had a conversation, not just you, Nikki, I actually had a conversation with another friend about this. And I was telling her, like, even if you use the Bible, remember when Moses went to Pharaoh and said, let my people go? Did he really say that, or is that just his song? Anyway, that's besides the point. When that happened, God hardened Pharaoh's heart so that Pharaoh would not let the people go. If you believe in God and believe in the Bible, to me that does not sound like free will. You know, like how many times has he done that? Like, if he has a plan and a goal, and he has a will, this is how things are going to be. If you believe that Revelations is the rapture, some people believe it's a parody, not a parody. A parody of Rome, not parody. Parody isn't the word, but it's more of like a metaphor talking about like Rome or Caesar or something. I don't remember that some other people believe. You could look into that if you want. But damn, I think I run out. Caesar, look into that if you want. Okay, we were talking about this is when ADHD is just kicking sometimes. I was talking about Pharaoh and will not. Alright, so if God has a will and a plan and everything, then he is going to ensure that happens. And sometimes that means that he has to make people do things. But I don't really want to get into scripture. Scripture is too heavy of a topic. What else what am I missing? Because I had a long conversation with somebody. Yes, and we also interpret things based on our emotions or how we feel. 'Cause if you're depressed and if you're depressed and you see somebody walking down the road with a smile, that's not a good example. What's a good example? If you're in a bad mood, right, and then somebody comes and just accidentally bump into you. If you're in a great mood, somebody bump into you and they be like, oh sorry, and they be like, yeah, no problem. But if you're in a bad mood and somebody bumps into you, your reaction could be something a lot more harsh. Like, what do you I'm sorry, I did it because what you doing? Why you bump into me so? And then the person be like, yo, sorry, it's no big deal. The same situation happened, but your reaction was different, not because, you know, not because of the other person's action, but because of how you feel. So if you make decisions based on your feelings and you have no control over what feelings come, do you really have control over your actions? You know, like, do you really have free will? There's probably more. There's probably more. Like our belief systems. Like, Nikki, you believe in God, right? So because you believe in God, you interpret the world in a way that you interpret the world based on your belief in God. So, you know, when somebody does something wrong, you think, okay, that's because you're a sinner sins. You know, and that's what it is. You interpret it. Like somebody does something wrong to me, it's just like I would just say the human nature. Probably maybe it's the same thing, but you know, my interpretation of it is different because of that. And because my interpretation is different, what I would tell him will be different than what you would tell him. You know? So, and that belief system, if you were manipulated into it, if it really is manipulation, because I could be wrong, but if you are manipulated into it, then you are now reacting to the person in the way that you're reacting to them because of your belief system that you were maybe potentially manipulated into. I feel like I'm going all over the place with this, but I don't know. I don't know. This is just my 2 cents. I like to say I don't know because I don't know a lot of things, and I don't want people to just take everything that I say as law because I don't know a lot. You know, there's a lot to know. I know, I don't even know if I know a lot. But yeah, that's it. Bye.